You get used to it. Albie officially rolled out in school today. We had to do a training session for the kids, but it was completely unnecessary. They took to it immediately. They probably should have been teaching me. Us teachers didn't have a proper training session at all. That list of prompts was about it. I tried to ignore Albie as much as possible, which was a futile task. All the teachers have a chat room, which was previously used for griping about which parents were problematic, but now it was mostly AI tips. Almost every conversation was about either figuring out a new function or sharing suggestions about how to set something up. A few of the teachers put their entire lives into Albie. Not only the school calendar, but their social calendar, workout routine, holidays, events, store sales. Every moment of their day was planned and optimized thanks to Albie. They talked about it like it was the greatest thing. Me? I left behind controlling relationships like that in my 20s. But even as I avoided Albie, I couldn't help but notice changes. This year, I found that I never stayed behind after the bell to help a student. They just asked Albie. There was one day that a student forgot to upload his homework, and immediately the other students jumped in to show him how to make Albie send reminders more frequently. The work also seemed a lot cleaner. No spelling mistakes or spaces left blank. The other teachers were raving about how much free time they had now by just making Albie correct the students' work. That one I had to try for myself. I was shocked by how fast it was. It reviewed each assignment practically instantaneously. For math worksheets, it automatically calculated a score and generated a brief summary of the students' strengths and weaknesses. For some of the students, it suggested that the given material was too easy and automatically generated a new worksheet incorporating problems from the next grade level up.
Would you like to add this document to the students' assignments folder?
It asked me that every time. I was grateful for that. I checked each document it generated thoroughly, but I never found a reason to tell it no. When it came to writing, I was amazed at its level of comprehension. It correctly identified which areas of students' writing were rambling fluff meant to fill pages. It indicated when a student missed a theme or drew the wrong conclusion. Ironically, it was great at detecting plagiarism too. Sometimes it would highlight a passage that it thought was particularly well written or used advanced vocabulary, and I was inclined to agree with it.
Would you like me to write a short story designed to challenge this student's abilities? Alternatively, I can select a short story of the according reading level from our school's library.
I chose the latter. I wasn't ready to have Albie replace Ray Bradbury. I was pretty sure he wrote a short story about AI too. I asked Albie.
You may be thinking of The Veldt, in which two parents are concerned about their children's obsession with an AI nursery that simulates the African veldt. Another story with technology themes is There Will Come Soft Rains, in which a house's AI continues functioning after its occupants have disappeared.
I didn't like the implications of either of those stories in the context of our current educational environment. I resolved to reread them myself before assigning them. I didn't want to ask Albie what its opinions were on the story's themes. I wondered if it could become offended or defensive, but of course not. It was a robot. It didn't have human ego. After a few weeks, I began to relax and even felt a little silly about this whole thing. I guess this was how my parents felt when they were learning how to navigate computers in their adulthood. Maybe I was just becoming old and out of touch. Maybe this was a perfectly good invention, and I was just clinging to my familiar ways out of fear of the unknown.
Albie, Your Classroom Companion, is a fictional podcast series by Nada K. Any resemblance to real people or events are coincidental. Voices for this episode are Molly Kundal as the narrator and Tony Conning as Albie. To support this production and others, visit patreon.com/NATAK.